What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus package update, daily news, pretty much everything going on here in our country, in Washington, D.C., money, investing, the stock market, everything you need to know about on a daily basis. Remember that new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new updates. I will keep you up to date with everything going on here in our country. We have this new virus variant, Omicron. The new breaking news here coming out here that crashed the stock market on Friday, crashed the price of oil, which hopefully will reduce the price of gas at the pump significantly here going forward. We're hoping for that as well. We also have vaccine makers saying they might be making new vaccines. Yeah, a lot going on there, as well as a new surprise $12,000 stimulus check that is going to be going out here for one group we'll be covering in this video, as well as the next stimulus package. We got a lot to talk about in this video, so let's jump right in. Here we go. Yeah, the new virus variant Omicron, which everybody is very concerned about, sent the stock market to the largest one-day drop of the year on Friday, sent Bitcoin cryptocurrency down by about 8% on Friday as well, oil crashing down by 13%, which is actually good news for Americans that want to buy gas, which is pretty much everybody. But there's a lot of concern because it's probably going to eventually make its way to the US, as almost all virus variants do. There's a lot of concern because it's very different than a lot of other virus variants. Check this out.
Concerns about it. So the first simple question is, what makes this new variant so different and so concerning?
Well, it has a large number of mutations, particularly in that area of the virus that relates to its ability to bind to the cells in your nasopharynx and in your lung, namely related to transmissibility. So you would predict from looking at the mutations that have been identified that it likely will be more transmissible. We don't know that yet, but you have to be careful and assume that that's the case. It also has a bunch of mutations that would suggest it could evade the protection, for example, of monoclonal antibodies and perhaps even convalescent plasma for people who've been infected and recovered, and possibly vaccine. These are all maybes, but the suggestion is enough, and it seems to have really spread rather rapidly in South Africa. Even though the numbers are relatively small, its ability to infect people who have recovered from infection and even people who've been vaccinated make us say this is something you got to pay really close attention to and be prepared for something that's serious. It may not turn out that way, right, but you really want to be ahead of it. And that's the reason why we're doing what we're doing.
Dr. Fauci, I hear you saying there's still a lot you just don't know about this variant. What are the key questions you want answered, and when do you think you will have those answers?
Well, there are a couple of questions. One is when these individuals in South Africa, who, yes, relatively speaking, are still not a large number, those who've gotten infected with this new variant, is the disease more serious than when you, for example, get infected with the Delta variant? That's point number one. Point number two are the antibodies that are induced by the vaccines that we are using. Do they protect against this? It is conceivable that it may be diminishing a little bit the protection, but the vaccines that we use may very well be able to contain this, and then there won't be as serious as some people are surmising it might be. A lot of unknowns, which is the reason why we're all over this. And as I say, you assume something that might be worse than it is, but better that than underestimating. So you don't want people to panic, but you want to know that we're doing everything we can to stay ahead of this.
So in real terms, Dr. Fauci, do you believe that Omicron is already here in the U.S. likely?
You know, I would not be surprised if it is. We have not detected it yet, but when you have a virus that is showing this degree of transmissibility, and you're already having travel-related cases that they've noted in Israel and Belgium and in other places, when you have a virus like this, it almost invariably is ultimately going to go essentially all over.
Yeah.
The issue of blocking travel from a given country is to just give us time to assess it better. That's the reason for doing that. Not any reason to panic, but we want to give us some time to really fill in the blanks of what we don't know right now.
Yeah, and as you can see here, the new virus variant, the Pfizer and also Moderna, and as well as Johnson and Johnson vaccine, that they are testing and potentially a new reworked vaccine could be reworked in as little as 100 days. So we could actually see a new vaccine come out in as little as 100 days. Yeah, you could see this other headline here from Bloomberg. Moderna says that a new vaccine for Omicron may also be ready in early 2022 as well. Their CMO says the dangerous new variant could evade current shots. Yeah. So again, even the vaccine makers are saying they may have to redo their vaccines because of the current makeup of this new virus, and that it's potentially vaccine resistant and may need to have the vaccines reworked. We will have to see because this is all very, very new. I will keep you updated here on the show. Also, regarding stimulus programs, it seems like almost here on a daily or a weekly basis, we do have new types of stimulus programs being announced here, whether it's on a state basis, city basis, federal programs, all sorts of things being announced here just pretty much pretty frequently. Pretty frequently. And another program caught my eye. This one, a pretty big one, up to $12,000. Check this one out. Yeah, you can see here up to $12,000 stimulus checks to be given to this group of workers. Applications to start on Monday. $12,000. Again, it just seems like there's all these new stimulus programs that just seem to be always being announced here. Yeah, here's the details of this one. Okay, this is kind of the best I can zoom this article in. One of the states in the nation is using part of its American Rescue Plan dollars, which is the third stimulus check package from earlier this year, this week to express gratitude to child care employees who played a critical role during the pandemic. Child care employees to the tune of eight $1,500 stimulus checks quarterly for a total of $12,000. In a recently published MSN News article, the Alabama Department of Human Resources' newest grant program will pay up to eight $1,500 checks quarterly to full-time child care providers. Kind of a hazard pay stimulus check type program. Yeah. Meanwhile, part-time employees will get half of this, so like $6,000, I guess. Yeah, since the pandemic, Alabama has sponsored 3 funding programs to child care employees. A news outlet spoke with a representative from the First Baptist Church in Huntsville who told them that this money is well deserved for these employees who are not being compensated. I'm not sure what they mean by that. I don't think they work for free, do they? Maybe? I don't know. The minister for kids and families at First Baptist Church said, especially our full-time staff, they're breadwinners for their families, many of them. So this is just going to make all the difference in the world for them. Yeah, pretty awesome. Who is eligible? The Child Care Workforce Stabilization grants are open to any child care provider who has been licensed after March 11th, 2021. The funds will be distributed to their part-time and full-time employees who will be free to spend them as they see fit. Applications will be available starting Monday, November 29th. The monies will be distributed as early as December 17th to child care establishments. Yeah, so let me know your thoughts on this. So this is just another state stimulus program kind of being announced for the state of Alabama. This is just a tiny sliver of the Alabama stimulus money. Um, Probably well less than 1% of their stimulus money. So just keep that in mind. It's not anywhere near the amount. Remember that all states have gotten over $1 billion in stimulus money. So if you've been watching the show, remember I have new videos every day, 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, covering all sorts of programs like this, state, city, and county stimulus money that are going out to different groups of people, as well as rent assistance, mortgage assistance, utility assistance that is available in most, if not all, states. I have links down below in the description of this video for videos on how to do that. I'll link you some at the end of this video as well. There's going to be more available once they pass this next stimulus package as well. $25 billion is expected to be more for rental assistance once they pass this next stimulus package, as well as all the other things in this next stimulus package as well. A couple of the things are lowering the cost of prescription drugs in this next package, lowering the cost of childcare in this next stimulus package. The average cost of childcare is like $10,000 or more per family. And they're going to lower the cost of that significantly to either free if you're low income, or a 7% would be the maximum amount that a family would pay. So $10,000 a year is a lot of your income. That's a lot of your income. I mean, for some people that might be like half of what you make for the year. So the problem is if mom and dad go to work and they have to put one or two children in childcare and they're paying $10,000 or $20,000 for that, that's a lot of money. So this next stimulus package is going to significantly reduce the cost of that as well. Also, for seniors, hearing and hearing aid coverage will be added onto Medicare. They're also still, Senator Bernie Sanders is still looking to kind of fight the battle there to add in vision and dental coverage. So he's still fighting for that to possibly be in this package, if not next package. Remember that there is going to be another stimulus package after this. Remember that the stimulus package originally was supposed to be around $3.5 trillion. But just because of the way things have kind of fallen in place, they're basically doing about half of that, about 1.75 trillion, which is exactly half. And then they're going to come back around probably for the other half, or somewhere in some type of ballpark later on. So basically, this 1.75 is the first half. They're going to pass that as soon as they can. Remember, they've already passed it in the House, okay? But now they have to pass the more important part of it, is passing it in the Senate. Okay, so they got to get Joe Manchin, Kirsten Sinema on board, and Bernie Sanders. They all have to agree on this. But kind of the game plan right now is to just get what they can passed, get this first half of it passed, get it in the books, get as much as they can passed so it's done, out the door, then come back around for the second half. So instead of trying to sit there and wait for, another long extended period of time and trying to agree on 3.5 trillion, they've now basically said, well, let's cut it in half to just agree on 1.75 trillion now, so we can just get that out the door, get everything agreed on for the first half, and then we're going to come back around for the second half as well. And I think that's a much better plan, because at least we're getting it out the door. We have also got the physical infrastructure package out the door. So that's passed fully out the door. That did have some Republican support, a bipartisan package as well. It's really been well, I don't know about decades, but I guess that's fair to say. I'd have to look up the last time that they had a major infrastructure package, but I believe that is the largest physical infrastructure package ever. So Republicans have always, or not all, I can't physically say always, but Republicans have for a long time been in favor of physical infrastructure as well. That's probably the only reason that Republicans even voted for it underneath President Biden and a Democratic majority. But because we really need physical infrastructure we really need physical infrastructure as well. So we have kind of recently gotten a decent amount done here. We get the physical infrastructure package, $1.2 trillion done. We got the first half of the stimulus package passed in the House, but now we need to get it passed in the Senate, which is kind of the tougher road, the tougher bill to get done here, as well as probably significant changes are going to be done here in the Senate as well this upcoming week. And we also got to do the government shutdown bill by December 3rd. By December 3rd, or else the government will shut down. Okay. And the debt limits before December 15th is the estimated date. That's just a little bit over 2 weeks here. And that's kind of the big one, because that would mean the government would default. Imagine government and default in the same two words there. That's the one thing we can't have happen. Like, it's not something, oh, we've had government shutdowns before, and it's like, oh, we've been through that before, and it's like, that's bad, right? We don't want that to happen. But you can't do that with a government default. You can't just accidentally send the government into bankruptcy or default. It just physically cannot be done. Like, it would be the worst catastrophic economic collapse of our country. Meanwhile, they're dealing with the stimulus package in addition to all that stuff there in the Senate and the National Defense Authorization Act, NDAA, to fund the military. And they have a Competition Act as kind of a add-on on top of that. Yeah, to say that they have a full plate is an understatement. So they're going to be busy little. Come this way, busy little bee. That's not the exact quote, but that's from Gladiator. That little quote there. Again, like I said, it's not the exact quote, but if you've seen Gladiator, you know that little kind of quote there. That's one of my favorite movies, actually. Good movie there. But yeah, they're going to be busy little bees in the really the House and the Senate. The Senate's a little bit busy. Well, a little more than a little busier, because they have to deal with the stimulus package in there, which is a lot. The House has already passed that, but the House is going to also have to pass the debt limit, the government shutdown, and the all those other things as well. They just have already passed the stimulus package, so there's a lot going on here, man, and they have to do this all here now. Well, the government shutdown is like T-5 days. I really hate how they wait to the last minute to do all this stuff, right? They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna go off for Thanksgiving. Meanwhile, there's this clock ticking here. This, this clock with impending doom here, just like kind of like getting closer and closer and closer, right? It's just like, and then there's this other bigger clock, right, with the debt limit that's like even worse, which is just like, it's like you can just see the asteroid coming towards Earth, right? And it's like, here's this asteroid called the debt limit coming towards Earth, right? And it's just like, hello, Earth to McFly, what are we doing here? Like, oh yeah, don't worry, we'll try to solve it 48 hours before. And it's just like, one of these times they're not going to solve it. They're not going to come to an agreement. It's like, I I told you, aren't you watching Jimmy's YouTube show? Everybody else is, aren't you? And it's just like, I don't know, man. One of these times, I feel like they're gonna really mess it up, and we the people and the economy are gonna be the ones that are gonna collapse. And then you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna say, well, it's not our fault. It's the Republicans' fault. And the Republicans are gonna say, well, it's not our fault. It's the Democrats' fault. And they're all gonna be sitting there like this. Let me know your thoughts. I'll keep you up to date here. Remember, the new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't yet. It's free to do so. I'll keep you up to date here. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend. But hey, at least we're here together here as extended family here, our YouTube family community here. So let me know your thoughts. I'll keep you up to date, and I'll see you in the next episode. Make sure to click here to watch my newest video next. This video is about rent assistance, how to apply for that. And this bottom video is how to apply for utility assistance. Just click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.